As kids in our generation, when we grew up, there was only outside. We grew up outside, playing out. We used to go and pinch apples.
We had 2 young sons when we first came here.
And dogs.
And obviously it was the main place to come. It had all the entertainment we needed without having to go miles away. Yes. And to have it so close to the centre of Leigh, that's the big advantage we have.
It's a park that came about through the need for a green space in a very industrial area, yeah, at a time when people worked incredibly hard, long hours in horrible surroundings, yeah, mills and factories, mines. So green space was so important. It came about through one man's ambition. From being a little boy to being Mayor of Leigh, he brought it about.
This is Joseph Ashworth. There was a march from the centre of Leigh to the park gates in the late 1800s. They call it the 1,000 Boys March, and they all came with their cricket bats and balls. We want a park, we want a park. And eventually that was what swung it. But Joseph Ashworth was one of those boys. And in 20 years later, when he actually became a mayor, he carried on his ambition and approached Lilford directly. Unfortunately, this was the result.
It was part of what was the grounds of Atherton Hall, which is no longer around. But the legacy is the space and the woods.
Another asset which must be mentioned is our closeness to the Environment Agency. It provided a lot of help and excellent ally to the park.
And our secret weapon are those lads over there in the Green Crew.
Yes, Green Crew. They're great. We got our first introduction to ring-necked parakeets. They fly across with a very characteristic squawk, a long tail, and settle in a high tree where they can see what's going on. But we've got a very good cross-section. Most recently we've heard chiff-chaff, black caps, white throats.
There's a beautiful walk through the woods, and that changes from spring through to summer through to autumn.
Well, my favourite tree is the bean tree. It's a feature in the park. It's what we use for our logo.
And it actually does have beans on. You can still see some on the ends of the branches, though I wouldn't recommend that anybody try and eat them. The park is a park that people tend to come to walk and sit and relax. We've got a variety of things that people can do. One of the big activities is definitely the disc golf. We're hoping that as this summer comes on, it gets even more used by local people.
As soon as I came over here and started walking through the woods, I fell in love and I just had to build a course here. One of the great things about it here in Lilford Park is it's free. We kind of have a mantra at Manchester Disc Golf that we want to have them be free and accessible for anybody and everybody to come out and give it a try.
One of our big successes has been Rock and Stroll, which is free to enter every year in July, with probably about 10 or 12 bands on, and everybody enjoys themselves. And on the back of that, we have the Leigh Feast.
Today, we're going to be land artists looking around the park, making art and patterns from things that we can find right here, thinking about the colours and thinking about the patterns. Anybody can do this. We're going to give ourselves a maximum of 20 minutes to make each piece.
So I found this enormous tree that's been felled at some point, and I thought we could make our first piece on here. I've just been and got some sticks from the hedgerow there, and I've made a zigzag design, and on the points I put some pine cones on there from a tree over there, and it took me 20 minutes. So what's happened here, I've just used the sticks just around me here, and I've cut them into really short lengths, and I've placed them on this tree stump that the park people have left me. It's a great surface, it's a nice and flat, it's a great background, it's got lovely lines on it. And what I've noticed is that each of these little sticks, it's really different. There's some living twigs that have fallen in the middle, and there's some with a hollow centre, and there's some that are slightly green, some that are white. And I've just tried to spread the colours evenly.
So we've decided here for our third piece in our land art snapshot, our third snapshot, to make something that's really tiny. So this is going to be a challenge, because if I sneeze now, we've lost everything. Just trying to arrange these tiny flowers, and this might not work. And when you're making land art, you know, that's always the case. It might not work, but I think it's always worth having a go.
I think we've managed it. We've had a couple of dogs over, and there's only a whisper of breeze, but this is so delicate, this one. It's a really tiny piece. Nobody will see it, I don't think, but we know it's there. I hope you've enjoyed the tour of the park today and watching me make some little pieces of land art snapshots. There's nothing to stop you going and having a go yourself. Good luck.